Hello, Romania. Hello, How to Web. I'm extremely happy to be here. It's actually the second time that I come to Romania. The first time that I was in Romania was 15 years ago, when I basically came for an internship while I was a student. Maybe it was 2 internships, actually. I was drunk most of the time in my 20s. So here you can see me in my 20s, being utterly stupid, magnificently hairy. It was an amazing experience. By the way, I made that with Nano Banana, but we will not talk about AI in this presentation. I hope you are relieved. I'm pretty sure you are a little tired of listening about AI. I am as well. So, a little bit more about me. I do product growth since it didn't really have a name. I worked with over 70, 50, I don't even remember, B2B SaaS businesses. I have taught more than 500 people that wanted to learn about those stuff. At the moment, I'm leading product growth for the IT automation in IBM, for the portfolio of products that do IT automation. But I also have a second profession, which is I'm a psychologist and psychotherapist, and it's my passion. So I help product and growth people actually do better in this 50% of the hidden job, which is basically to deal with other human beings around in your organization, which is quite difficult. So, 10 product moves that I bet my salary on. Just for the record, I do not mean that I bet my salary. I'm only clarifying that because a couple of hustlers out there, they came and asked me, bro, what amount are we talking about here? So, no. This is not really working. But I know you all care about growth. I also care about it. I work on that. And I have collected 10 things that I truly believe are actually hitting the nail. I'm not selling any of them. So you can trust that whatever I'm going to tell you today is actually what I think that will actually work for you as well. So let's start. First thing, founder-led content. If you haven't heard that term, is a relatively new thing that basically talks about content that is created directly by the founders with the aim to create authentic authority and drive customers. How many of you here are founders? OK, cool. You know as founders that you are the sellers of your business. So you are the ones that need to start building into content that will potentially generate a community around you. I know for a fact that there are VCs in this place that will prioritize founders that are doing founder-led content. And the reason they will do that is because most probably, like a lot of startups, they pivot, they change, or they fail. But if you have a community around you and you talk about the problem that you are solving and you are creating a community, then you have a second chance. You have an asset that you can use even if things go south. If you want to check someone that does that very well, check Adam Robinson. You can see here, this guy has raised like a gazillion of millions, but he goes out there bravely, and he talks about how his own company is dealing with churn. So that type of authentic content is what actually works. The second thing, humor-based campaigns. A few years ago, humor would make you look kind of funny, kind of cool. But at the moment, you know, and I know, that the market is overly saturated. Everyone is fighting for your attention. Everyone is shouting out loud. Using humor at this stage in your campaigns is a necessity. Experimenting and testing with humor is a necessity. Because it sticks, it actually optimizes your funnel. It's not a matter of branding only. It optimizes your numbers. These numbers that you are tweaking when you're doing paid ads, or these numbers that you are tweaking when you're doing social media, or generally top of the funnel numbers. You can see a little example here, but generally pro tip, especially if you come from an industry that is kind of serious, making fun of yourself always works. Third thing, social jobs to be done. I want to share a little story with you. A few years ago, I was working with a competitor of Zoom. Very good product. It is still called Whereby. I was doing customer research for these people, and I was doing some stuff within the product. Doesn't matter. But what I want you to actually remember out of that is, during my presentations, most people, the most common insight that I had was that we like the product. We actually find it better. But if it fails during our client calls, it's on us. for introducing it. Although if Zoom fails during the course, it's on Zoom. Everyone uses Zoom. So do you see what I'm trying to say here? When you're building a product, you're, of course, building something that is valuable. But also, you are building something that needs to make the people that will introduce it within the company feel good, look good, get the promotion, look good to their bosses, you name it. But these are the social jobs to be done that a lot of people within, especially larger organizations, worry a lot. I work with one of them, and I can tell you. There is a company out there called Gong. You might have heard it. They're nailing it. They're nailing the social jobs to be done. If you check their website, pretty much across the website, they're telling you, if you use Gong, you are cool. So they don't do that by accident. Next one, product lead magnets. Do you remember that? This is a Chrome extension that HubSpot was using a few years ago. You would get the Chrome extension, you would add it to your Chrome, and you would do something. It was a totally standalone product. You didn't have to pay for HubSpot. You didn't have to be a user of HubSpot whatsoever. So this is what I call product lead magnets. They are like lead magnets, but they're products, of course. They are standalone products that sit out there. Of course, they position your brand effectively, they capture leads, and they do something that is complementary to your main product. So why I'm saying that? This might become an acquisition channel that will prove more effective and even cheaper for you than doing ads. Because these leads that are using a product that is complementary to your product are the top leads that you can have. These are what we call product qualified leads. They're qualified leads by using your product. Also, why I like product lead magnets? You can test stuff. So within lots of companies that I have been involved, we were always like, should we do freemium? Should we do free trial? Should we do this? But you cannot do everything. You need some form of sandbox to test things that is not very close to your brand, especially if you make that powered by our brand. So this is a very good sandbox for you to test stuff, to see what sticks, and maybe if it works, you can bring them back to your main product. Interactive micro demos. A few years ago, I was working with a company that was doing a tool for development teams. So again, I was doing customer research for them, and we hired a couple of IT decision makers to ask them what do they think about the product. Do you know what was the leading insight that I had? Non-expectable insight. Do you have a demo for me to check the product? I typically ask my team to take the free trial. So what I want you to keep out of that, 5 years ago, you would have a free trial, and it would be OK. It was the PLG boom. Everyone was like, you should have a frictionless free trial. And you thought, OK, I'm going to have a free trial. And now you're having a free trial, but you might be wondering, why is it not working as I want to? It's simple. Everyone has a free trial. Those things work in circles. Users and buyers are even lazier than 5 years ago, and they don't even want to spend the time to take your free trial. If you have your product analytics and you have this adoption curve, you will see that people that actually use your free trial, they churn that after hours, minutes. The decision-making process on if someone will use your product after they take a free trial takes minutes, hours, maximum a day. So why interactive micro demos? Why are they the answer to that? Interactive micro demos let you provide product experiences within your landing pages without the customer even needing to take a free trial. This is especially good when you are dealing with business contracts, B2B, that have multiple people being involved. Typically, you might have top-down, you might have middle managers, and then you have the users. Micro demos, which, by the way, this is a tool that you can make them. It's called Navatic, but there are many out there. You can embed them on your pages. You can provide them to your sellers as sales enablement materials, and they provide product experiences without the user using your product. This is very good. Something I wanted to tell you is that if you provide that to your sellers and they give that to your leads can have, as I said, product experiences without accessing the product that are use case specific if you make micro demos based on use cases. So you can enrich your database with data that are super important for your sellers. Extending on what I said before, I mentioned you. There are top-down people, there are middle managers, there are bottom-up people. So we have the budget holders, the VPs, we have the managers that typically evaluate a solution, and then we have the users, the people that are actually using it. So think of something. Do your website acknowledges all of those people? So this is a little bit of a more advanced tip, but, and I will give you an example after that, your web presence must accommodate all of these people, potentially. I have seen that most websites that want to promote a product either accommodate for the user or for the budget holder. These are different people, and if you only accommodate for the user, you inevitably force a buying journey out there that discourages the rest of the people. I can give you an example from my own company, IBM. All of our products in IT automation, they were pushing hard the free trial. But we are IBM. We are like the epitome of top-down. Why force people, top-down people, VPs, to actually take a free trial? They wouldn't, and they didn't. So here's what we did. We enforced a product demo at the very beginning of the journey, and then we led people to the according buying journey according to what they wanted to do. So what I'm trying to say here is that it's not always about bringing people within a free trial or bringing people within a PLG motion. You must study your buying journey, analyze it, and try to accommodate for all of these people, because all these people are getting involved. Gamified free trials. How many of you have a free trial? OK, quite a few. How many have you seen this graph that I mentioned before? This graph of the free trial. OK, cool. As I said before, most people take decisions within minutes, hours. So what is the reason we offer 14 days of free trial? I have no idea. What I'm proposing to you, which actually works and optimizes your free trial funnel, is to establish a system of reward within your free trial every time that your users are actually doing the things that you want them to do. Let me give you an example. This is ProdPad. ProdPad actually gives 7 days of free trial. And every time that you do something that they want you to do, they add a day. You can test with different things. You can test with usage credit. But actually gaining your way towards a 14-day trial, I find it very effective. And I have data to support that when you establish such gamification, a reward mechanism, it actually works way better. But it has also an extra added value. It shortens your sales feedback loop. So when you have a free trial, 14 days or 30 days, you must wait 14 days to see what these people did, and potentially extra a month, because lots of people, or most people, they don't convert during the free trial, they convert after the free trial. So by enforcing a shorter free trial, where the people gain their way towards something, if they do what you want them to do, you basically program them, you condition them to use your product and in order to gain something, even at a stage that they haven't yet realized the value, but they engage in order to realize it. This one will be short. Usage credits. I mentioned usage credits before. I know that a lot of you, and I have done that in the past, in my startups, I was playing the discount game a lot. I knew in advance that, you know what, I have that discount threshold, and I was using it. And I have seen sellers and companies, especially in 2025, things are a little difficult. Acquisition is a little difficult. We are using discounts a lot. But I don't like discounts, personally. And you know what? I think even the people that you are giving these discounts, they don't like you as much. It compromises your dignity. It compromises your pricing integrity. It compromises your branding. But what I tell you instead to do, what I propose you to test, is use usage credits, which basically is the same thing. So instead of giving you a discount of $100, I will give you $100 to use within my product. Is it the same? Technically, it's sort of the same. But is it actually the same in the mind of the customer? No. It's not the same. It shows a very different commitment and psychologically plays very differently. Unfortunately, for the next 3 tips, I didn't have a visual because this is an internal thing, a strategy. So I picked a tiny kitten. It's cute. That's it. Next one, and one of my favorites, PLS. So 5 years ago, I was included in these lists, top PLG people to follow, blah, blah, blah. And I must admit that I was riding the wave of PLG, product-led growth, like hard. But now I'm anti-PLG. Does that mean that I don't believe in product-led growth? No. It just means that I don't think it's anymore a silver bullet, as the people that are selling it want you to believe. So what I think now it works is PLS, product-led sales. So what is PLS? PLS is when you equip your sellers with all the necessary product signaling, but also other information in order to sell the product while they're using it, to upsell, to cross-sell, to just sell. It's one of the most highly effective tactics in 2025, and the reason is simple. If we let the users self-serve, we might lose them. Can we afford to lose them in 2025? No, we can't. We wouldn't be here if we would afford to lose them. We would have a bank account that would be full of revenue, and we wouldn't be here to meet VCs, investors, and stuff. So we cannot really afford to lose customers. We need to engage sellers. Sellers are having a party in 2025. It's the year of the sellers. So if you give sellers nice signals, easy to understand stuff, and simplified, humanized scripts, they will do wonders for you. By the way, there is a startup here that is working on that problem. It's called Nario, so a shout out for Nario. Go find them afterwards. I didn't have a visual for that, so I put this guy, is Razvan Lucescu, is the most hated Romanian in Greece. He always complains about referees. Doesn't look very cute, like the tiny kitten. And last one for today, integrations. If you are a product manager, I'm pretty sure you have been involved somehow in integrations. Integrations are very cool. They basically are an amazing tool to improve the experience of your user. But what you might not know is that integrations are also one of the top acquisition tactics out there. And the reason is very simple. You see a tool, another product. It's sort of complementary, but not competitive with you. So you're like, OK, do I want their users? I do want their users. So let's build an integration. So you build an integration. You push it out there. You make it thoughtful. You make a connection with the other product that actually makes sense for the users to use both of them in their stack. So you monitor the integration. You fix it. You improve it. And if the integration actually works well, boom, you have a nice acquisition model. What if the integration works very well? Then you have something in your product roadmap. A lot of you might worry, what is it that I have to build next? And you're like, OK, what sort of testing should I do? How should I experiment? Should I ask the users? You should build integrations, people. Check your integrations. Check what people are using out of your integrations. And the ones that are using mostly, bring them into your product as features. Expand your product according to what your own integrations are telling you that the users want. So that was pretty much it for today. I put a papanache here, which is one of the most genius Romanian things ever invented. I'm Aggelos Mouzakitis. I want you all in my LinkedIn. I don't have something to sell you or promote, but one day you will need an annoying Greek guy to help you. And I will be this annoying Greek guy. Thank you very much. Enjoy How to Web. Thank you, Romania. Woohoo!